Well, we're going to finish with some comedy over on Prime Video, arriving on Friday the 18th of October. It's The Office Australia. And here's a clip.
People ask me, how can I become a great boss? And the answer is having a happy staff that love you. Oof.
This is a proper HR nightmare.
As of today, we are all back in the office full time. What?
That's not good news.
Gosh, it feels like so many years, doesn't it, Ian, since The Office kind of landed. It feels really old. And the idea that there's a new comedy kind of almost echoing what we saw so many years ago, it's kind of weird. But actually, this works really quite well because it's an 8-part series. It's set down under, as we said, and they've kind of modernized it to a degree because even back in the day when The Office was on, it was still draconian in its approach to staff and wasn't acceptable in modern day practice. But this is kind of modernized itself again because it opens with the office, the boss, who in this instance is a woman. So that's the first time we've had that. That's really funny and actually quite a big thing for her to do, I think, actually take on that role because the spotlight is on. And it starts with her trying to keep the office open in the modern day of everyone wanting to work from home. So they've kind of modernized the way in here, which of course, most offices are doing. Most offices can be quite bare, and companies after COVID trying to get their staff back in. So obviously the office only works and the dynamics only work. And as we know with the boss of the office, their life is that office. So it needs to stay open even if nobody else wants it to. And Felicity Ward plays the part of Hannah, and I think she is very funny. She's got her own take on it. She's completely delusional in the same way that Ricky Gervais was in this part, in terms of the way that she kind of plays the character, and there's just I think there are some, from what I've seen of it so far, I think there are some quite laugh out loud moments. There is some real cringe-worthy, as you'd expect, moments. I like the fact that they kind of cut and interview some of the staff. They've obviously worked closely at watching what it was like originally and stuck to that to a degree because why wouldn't you? But slightly their own twist, as I say, having a woman as the office boss kind of immediately changes that dynamic. And it's, I don't know, she is basically totally incapable in the same way that Ricky Gervais was. So if you like The Office first time round, you'll probably like this. But of course, the American Office wasn't for everybody either. It's cringy. It's something you can do, the washing up, while you're watching it, I'd say. What do you think, Ian?
Well, as well as the American remake starring Steve Carell, which many people would argue, including myself, was better than the British series, and it ran for a very long time. The Office has been remade in Germany, South America, Chile, and Finland. So in a way, it's on a bit of a hiding to nothing, this one, because if you're probably going to have seen the British and the American one, most likely, which were both absolutely superb. And it's bound to be compared with them. So I think that's challenging, of course it is. However, if you hadn't seen those and you watch this, you think, this is great. This is really funny, terrific characters, good script, what a great idea. So, as you say, I like the idea that they've cast it with a female boss, Hannah, played by Felicity Ward, and then in the Gareth character, the equivalent of a Gareth character, is also a woman. So it's quite fun saying, oh, so that's who's playing the equivalent of so and so, Tim and Dawn and whoever. And there's a real kind of hangdog HR guy sort of trying to hold it all together. So, and it's at a packaging company in Sydney called Flinley Craddock, and its its slogan is "Think inside the box." So yeah, I would say Hannah Howard. She's a bit more kind of just scatty and silly, rather than particularly David Brent could be quite nasty and very self-serving, wasn't he? But in a hilarious way. So I'd say it's a little bit softer, but I do think it's good. But unfortunately, it's always going to be to suffer a little bit by comparison with the British original and the American remake. But yeah, I think it's well worth a look.